The Bible has so many amazing stories, and this is one of them. So the story goes, a long time ago in a land far, far away, as most stories begin, there was a very rich man. Now this man, his name was Naaman. I mean, he had whatever he wanted. I mean, he could have all the candy in the world. He could have the biggest house. He just had everything. Or so you would think. Because one day, as one of his servants was walking down the hall of the house, they heard, and she went to the door and she knocked. Hello, Mr. Naaman? What's wrong? And he said, I have leprosy. And she said, you have what? I have leprosy. Now, the thing about leprosy was back then, if you had leprosy, you were as good as gone. But the girl said, Mr. Naaman, I know somebody who might help with this situation. He said, you do? And she said, yeah. There's a prophet back home named Elisha, and he can possibly help. So Mr. Naaman jumped on his horse and went to the king and said, Mr. King, there's someone who might be able to help me with my leprosy. And his name is Elisha. And if you give me permission, I'll be able to go. And the king, liking Naaman, said, you may go. So Naaman and his friends went riding towards Elisha's house. When they got there and they knocked on the door, who is it? Hello, it's Naaman, and I hear you might be able to help me. Well, hold on. And the door opened, and Elijah had sent one of his helpers to tell him, okay, what you need to do is you need to go to the River Jordan and jump in there 7 times. And he said, the River Jordan? He said, yeah, just go in 7 times. The River Jordan? And the reason why he was reacting this way was because the River Jordan was kind of icky. I mean, it had slime, it had frogs, it had bugs. But that's what Elisha's worker said. Naaman, however, he was like, nope, not a chance. I am going back home. But then his friends caught him to him and said, hey, wait. You heard what the man of God said. I think perhaps you should listen to him. He said, but the River Jordan is yucky. He said, yeah. And we have better rivers at home. Yeah, but the man of God said. So Naaman said, okay, fine. And they went to the River Jordan. When they got there, Naaman looked at it. He said, so I'm supposed to go inside there. Yep. 7 times. Yep. Just do it and it'll be over with. Said, okay. There goes nothing. And he jumped in. And he came out. How many times last? Like, that's 1. Went back in. 2 times. 3 times. 4 times. Up until the 7th. And when he got up, his skin was clean. And it was smooth and there was no blemish despite the ickiness of the Jordan River. Now, what's amazing about this story is, here you have Naaman. And he goes to Elisha, and Elisha tells him what to do, and Naaman says, nope, not a chance. And as he's walking away, his friends are the ones that convince him to go to the river Jordan. Now imagine if he didn't have those friends. Imagine if he had friends who would just agree with whatever he agreed with, or not listen to what the prophet said and never cared about what the prophet said. He wouldn't have been healed. And this taught me that sometimes the right friends at the right time will do you a lot of good. And it also showed me that despite what you think, despite how yucky the situation might be, God's way is the best way. Pretty cool story, huh? For Bible stories, this is Tabs.